And we are live. Hello. It's been a very long time since we saw each other. I'm your host with the most, Condor Jazz, coming at you from South America. I am literally smoking. Yes. Yesterday I went and got myself some of these cigarettes made with flowers. No tobacco, no weed, but just pure flowers, and it wasn't half bad. I just finished one of them, and it was pretty good.
I
That's the
didn't
Next
gayest
know
thing,
thing you've ever said.
what?
I said that's the gayest thing you've ever said.
Uh,
I'm smoking flowers. Hey guys,
I didn't
I'm not
even. I
smoking
didn't
tobacco or
even.
marijuana.
I didn't
I'm just
even know that
smoking
was
flowers.
possible. Like, can you
because
like just
hard to
can you just
it's hard
pick up
it's
shit
hard to
from the?
get some fucking weed around here. I haven't found a good plug since like ever.
Yeah, be careful about finding plugs in foreign countries.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
I
I
was. I,
could.
I'm
I
just.
mean,
I
I
was just
could go
saying. I'm
down
just
to the
saying.
beach and score some
I didn't.
surfers.
I don't know. I didn't know you could like just go to the countryside and grab stuff from the ground and smoke it. Like, is that a thing?
I mean, technically, you can smoke anything, really.
But
Like,
Well,
yeah,
as
should
long as
you is the question.
that's what I mean. Like, I know as long as it produces smoke, you can smoke it. But can you like just pick flowers up and like grind them and put on a cigarette and
Is
smoke
there a
them?
list of what kind of flowers are in these gay cigarettes of yours?
yeah. It's on their Instagram. Let's look it up here. Uh, yeah, it's on their Instagram. Just give me a moment to like look it up.
So, I'm enjoying a long weekend. This weekend, it's an American holiday. Tomorrow is Labor Day,
Mm.
so I don't have to work, which is great because the last month or two, mostly the last month, has been a fucking insane crunch. Like every day has been like 2 to 6 hours longer than I expected it to be. Did a lot of driving.
Well, I can relate to that because my day hasn't ended since Friday afternoon or like Saturday morning when I started moving and packing and shit. Because we took a flight, went over the time zone, and basically we didn't have a night. Like we spliced the 2 days
Here we
together. So
go. All right, I
Where
got
are you?
the
I'm back in Spain now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just arrived a few hours ago.
yeah. Here's the ingredient list. They have like four strains, I guess. One is called Floriser or To Bloom, which has red and white roses,
Oh shit.
calen, calendula, calendula, which is like a type of
Calendula.
daisy, lavender, and chamomile. And it's a relaxant, it's a anti-inflammatory, and it relieves stress and anxiety. The next one is purple mint, which has lavender, mint, Andean mint, and chamomile, and it's a energizer and refresher, and also helps with digestion, and it gets rid of pain, headaches, and heaviness in the stomach. Uh,
So I'm right. Those are the gayest cigarettes possible.
well,
I kind of want to try them though.
yeah, and then the last two are yellow submarine is chamomile, white flower, candula, and stevia leaf, and then the last one, Jamaica vibes, is mint. Torn heel was like, oh yeah, it's mint. I forgot what Toron heel is, and then chamomile, red roses, and the hibiscus flower, and it's good for thinking and having moments of mental clarity.
I used to work at a grocery store that sold candied hibiscus.
It's delicious, and
It was good. It was actually pretty good.
mhm. And it's also a popular drink in Mexico. It's called Jamaica.
What is it? Hibiscus tea?
Yeah, well, basically, the Mexican way is like you buy the dried flowers and then you soak it in water, and sometimes you can make agua frescas out of it. And Mega, you know what I'm talking about.
Sorry.
Agua fresca de Jamaica.
That's bullshit. Yeah, what about it?
Yeah, we're talking about how to make it, dumb shit.
How to make it?
Yeah.
Do you know? Do you want to know how I make it? I go to the store. I get a bag of Jamaica, and I spice it on the water, and add a little bit of sugar.
Uh,
That's
oh,
it.
Ladies and gentlemen, he
Ted.
is the most intelligent man in all of Mexico.
Well,
Well,
that's how I
that
have
was
always
difficult.
made it.
I
That's
mean,
how
he's
I
smarter
have
than
always.
he's smarter than their president. That's for sure.
But yeah, please let me be. Please let me exude my faggotry with my fancy little flower cigarettes. I mean, at least it's a tiny bit healthier than tobacco and marijuana.
I
Yo,
Oh,
what's
and
know.
up, hero?
up hero.
Hey, hero.
He says, "Hey guys, hope everyone is well."
I'm more of a
And
man who likes to make how's it called lemon water. Agua de limón.
Lemonade?
Yeah, but we used green lemons, not the yellow ones.
Green lemon? I didn't.
well,
You
those,
mean limes?
those are, well,
Does
no,
that mean limes? I'm not joking.
it's actually a hybrid.
Yeah, I
It's like
think so.
Lime on, if you will.
yeah, it's
I don't know that I've ever had a green lemon.
Well, actually, I sucked a green lemon a couple of hours ago.
very, very, very common. It's a hybrid,
Yeah,
and
it exists. It's more rounder,
mm-hmm.
and obviously it's green.
Isn't that the thing they used to like give Sprite flavor and Seven Up?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Oh, so that wasn't just like a marketing thing. I remember them using the term lyman, but I thought that they were just like that was just like oh, we're marketers, we're so clever.
Yeah, because here in Mexico, I have almost never seen the yellow one. All my life, I have
Hmm.
seen the green one. And it's even better when you combine it with beer.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when you stick it in a Corona, right?
Yeah, with salt and chili pepper.
Ooh.
I've had that. That's pretty good. I actually like the chili powder in the beer, like a salt rim with chili powder. Yeah, I like that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's good.
and Mega, if Midnight drags himself to Mexico, you have to take him to get a michelada.
Oh,
I have.
if that bastard
Okay.
ever comes to Mexico, he will have the time of his life. I will take it to every place I know to eat and to drink.
Mm,
And trust me, you will
sounds
not
pretty good.
regret it. You will not regret it.
I need to get to Mexico.
Yeah,
You know, I had a
because
fucking cracking time when I was
yeah,
there.
because Hero is saying that I feel something is going to happen in 2024, and the feeling is getting stronger.
Yeah,
Well,
the
I hope I will
elections.
be. Yeah, I hope I will be able to relocate to a small cabin in the woods by then. So,
Uh,
There's a reason why I left the city and moved to the boonies, man.
I completely understand.
no, I'm monitoring the situation here, and luckily, most of the shit is staying like in the city center. So I don't know if I have to dip out to like the boonies in uh in Lima, then so be it, I guess.
I mean,
But
I invite everyone to get away from the big cities and big city areas.
I don't know. I'm just lucky that most of the riots and shit that happen are mainly contained actual center of Lima.
So
The
speaking
city.
of what is in the near future, speaking of Hero 92694 Abel's prediction that something is going to happen in 2024, are we all aware of the prediction about lockdowns coming back? COVID
Um.
hysteria running new?
Yep, I've heard about it. I
Yeah, I
mean, we were
heard it
just.
too.
I mean, the fat one and I were talking about it like backstage, and I was like, I hope you enjoyed your trip to New York because you're gonna be shutting down again soon.
I mentioned that to you, Kid Alice, when we met up.
Yep.
Because
I
we
was like,
met
guess what?
somewhere we met. I'm not gonna say where. It was pretty nice. And yeah, I
So
was like,
many things are
fucking,
happening.
yeah, no, fuck the future, dude. Like
Fight
if
for
they
no, we
feel
gotta fight for the future.
if they fall for it again, at the very least, I get to laugh at them because they were like, "No, just get the job, let's just wear the mask, just comply, and it will be over soon." And when it turns out it happens every year regularly, and the lockdowns and the face masks and the compulsory jabs come back, at the very least, I get to laugh at their fucking faces. There's that.
It
I
only
think I will
happens.
join in.
It only happens if we participate.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Hey,
So they
but do
can
you
suck
know
my
what? Do you know what's the most interesting thing? Like when COVID was supposedly running rampant, there were absolutely no cases of flu,
Oh
no
yeah.
cases
Kind
of
of strange, isn't it?
influenza.
Here's another interesting question. Okay, so are we all aware of what's going on at Burning Man?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it as soon as
Okay.
we get that over.
I'm not, but since we're gonna talk about it, that's cool.
Because it all ties together. So I'll let you cue it up by introducing the topic, Jez.
Well, maybe I can move it up to the front because actually today we were going to go through like a lot of popular celebrity deaths and give our opinion. This is going to be our memoriam show because a lot of culturally relevant people died in the past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just start with Burning Man and then we can do our little in memoriam and then I have one more news story. Right. Do, 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 do. From the New York Times. Trapped in mud, Burning Man attendees are told to conserve food. So I guess it's not Burning Man anymore. You can say it's Soaking Man.
Or
Starving,
droning
man.
men. Droning men.
Yeah. So
Now
at the
remember, they just
festival,
had protesters shut down outside of Burning Man.
yeah, and then I should grab that. That was hilarious. Like they had like the extinction, whatever the fuck those losers are. They're
No, the
standing in the
Extinction
middle of the
Rebellion,
road,
yes.
and this Nevada Ranger just plows through them.
What's funny to me is that the protesters were half right. Burning Man is a corporate regurgitation of what it once was. So they're right about that, and they're right about like all the people, the rich people, burning all the fossil fuels and all that stuff. But they're wrong about all the other stuff.
All right. Well, Esri Festival in remote Nevada desert became encased in mud after heavy rains on Friday night. The police opened an investigation on Saturday into the death of an attendee. And then here's I don't know what's a good hippie name for this dirty, disgusting.
Moonshadow Deerdick?
Okay, here's
Holy shit!
Moonshadow.
Look who's in the audience, Canalis.
Oh shit! That's Eve.
Who's this? Hi, hello.
Hi.
Most recently known as Evie Mooney. What's going on, man?
Hey,
She
what's up?
she was in No Apologies before even I got about.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the show.
Hi.
You should email me.
All right.
Do you still have my email, Evie? If you don't, I'll put it in chat.
Right. So, as thousands of attendees at Burning Man Festival in a remote stretch of the Black Rock Desert in Nevada were told on Saturday to conserve food, water, and fuel after heavy rainfall trapped them in thick mud, the police opened an investigation into the death of a person during the event. So, the Pershing County's Sheriff's Office said that the family of the victim has been notified, but no further information was available early Sunday because the investigation was continuing. So, as you know, Burning Man takes place in Black Rock City and began last Sunday, but it was interrupted by heavy rains on Friday night. And organizers directed attendees to shelter in place as rain poured over the area. Except for emergency services, vehicles have also been prohibited around Black Rock City. Let's see. And festival goers could be trapped for several days, organizers said. They say the gate and airport in and out of Black Rock City remains closed. Ingress and egress are halted until further notice.
Oh, Black Rock City. Am I seeing a pattern here?
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
Oh, that's weird.
But yeah, it's usually it's like a temporary community that pops up each year in the middle of a vast desert known as the Playa for Burning Man. And it hosts more than 60,000 people every year. Probably half of them are just trust fund little Nepo babies.
I knew some people. I knew some people that went to. I mean, this was a long time ago, but they were at that time yearly attendees of Burning Man. They were kind of what you expect, like proto woke, not well off, but like more well off than you would expect. Well, more well off than they pretended to be. And they were constantly trying to recruit. They were stagehands. They were constantly trying to recruit other people that they knew to go with them. And I made fun of them. I don't remember what I called it. I don't remember what I called it, but like, you know, degeneracy essentially. And they didn't like that.
Yeah. And
we're going to rent half a shipping container. And they said that there's financial aid. There's actually financial aid to attend Burning Man.
Really?
Yeah.
How very like off the gritty and post-apocalyptic. I think that's what Burning Man was supposed to be like.
That was supposed to. I think the real essence of Burning Man is at the Wasteland weekends in Australia. Have you guys seen that?
I think I heard about it. It sounds like something that what's that fucking Australia? Out where the river meets.
Oh, Midnight Oil.
How can we sleep while the beds? Do you think I'd remember the name of that band?
It's called Midnight Oil. I just said it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said that.
So it's basically a lot of like a bunch of Mad Max fans basically going full post-apocalyptic and like driving around in their custom motor.
You know what's funny? So I did events in a lot of these big corporations, Twitter and Facebook being a couple of them, but a lot of others too. And I remember coming up to around Burning Man time, they that was part of their presentation, like talking about their fucking art cars for Burning Man. Yeah.
I think I would rather go to the Mad Max one in Australia than Burning Man.
Me too, actually. Me too.
Oh my god, Canels, you could dress up as what's his name? Immortan Joe.
Actually, I'd rather go as Humongous, like the leather harness, because I'm really jacked, and I can also talk in a really weird voice.
No. We can go as Canels. If it's me and you, we can go as Master and Blaster. I'm short enough.
There you go. There you go. You can a master, and I'll just go around like being big and retarded, beating people up.
Who's the dude with the gyrocopter?
Oh, that's
Gyro Captain.
That's Papagallo, and the second one is called Papagallo.
No. No.
I
The
would go
private
as
captain is the one with the gyrocopter. Pappagallo is the leader of the refinery.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I would go as the captain so that I could get airborne and keep my asshole as far away from Canales in a fucking leather hockey mask as I can.
Well, if
You
Canales
Dusted
goes,
leather at my nail.
Canelus, just walk away.
if Canales goes as Humongous, I will go as Toady, the one who does the introduction. Greetings from the Humongous, the
Oh
Lord
yeah, no.
Humongous.
Then you gotta go as the gay guy who gets like his head severed by the boomerang. And
The
then
lover
yeah,
of
Wes.
Wes.
Yeah, Wes. And then like Wes gets really angry and has to like kill someone because you died.
Does he say, no,
Super
we
interesting
don't
character
talk.
arc.
We get
No,
in.
we go in.
We kill.
You know what? Now that you're talking about, if only I could get like a really deep tan, I could go as anti-entity.
All right,
That's okay.
that's blackface, but I don't give a shit about the kind of stuff.
R.I.P. Tina Turner. Anyways, let's finish up this thing about Burning Man. So Burning Man, so this Black Rock City is like a 3-hour drive from the nearest airport, and it's 100 miles away in Reno, from Reno, I should say. And then there's videos on social media showing Burning Man attendees trudging through flooded fields and dense mud. I've seen pictures where they picked up like inch-long triops from the mud that have been buried for like God knows how long.
You mean those fossils? Are those
Yeah,
fossils?
yeah. But yeah, let's see. Burning Man has been around since the 1980s, and it's known to draw crowds of people dressed in eclectic garments and costumes, and then also celebrities and rich fucks.
Well, apparently, so there's a big mansion on this like ridge that overlooks the festival area, overlooks the playa. You know who owns that mansion?
Someone who was a nose of the nose tribe.
I don't know. I don't think so. Jared Leto. Hang on, let's do a life check on Jared. Isn't that weird? And
I think he passes the early life check.
I know for a fact that the U.S. military provided their internet since it was available. So all the internet access that went through the Burning Man festival grounds, all of it, every fucking bit and byte, every single one and zero, collated and collected and fucking archived by the U.S. military.
Of course. Well, then they say, despite the weather, Burning Man attendees say they were prepared and trained for such conditions. Doubt.
Well, obviously they weren't.
Yeah. The event is much different than going to a music festival like Coachella, says this Kaz Kamrudin, who is attending his 6th burn. Ooh.
It's it started this one anyway. It's like Firefest. It's like nobody asked the questions of what if this happens.
Oh, now that you mentioned the Fire Festival, there's been rumors swirling around that they're gonna start like a new one.
That's retarded. That brand is done. That would be so stupid. I mean, there's a good chance people will buy tickets, but I wouldn't have anything to. That's a cursed brand.
Yeah, they're trying to bring it back. Oh, what did he say? We have very smart people here, he said in a phone. This Cam Rudin guy said in a phone interview on Saturday. People have medical supplies and warm clothes and are helping to keep others safe and dry. The evidence is showing the opposite.
We did it on purpose, guys.
Yep. There's also like attendees have opened their RV campers, and then they also mentioned the environmental activist retards. And with the muddy conditions, water puddled to their ankles, and more rain expected tonight, attendees are unlikely to leave until early next week.
So,
yeah.
Eve asks, how much is it? Hang on, let me do this. How much is a ticket to get into Burning Man? What I'm
Probably a lot.
seeing, and I tried to find it on other ticketing sites, but I couldn't really find it. What I've got is this is 2022. Early package releasing 1,000 tickets at $2,500, and another 3,000 at $1,500.
Ugh.
And then, for those looking for the most affordable option outside of the Ticket Aid program, which offers, discounted. How much? You're not getting a sizable discount off for a $1,500 ticket. The main sale offers patrons the ability to purchase a ticket for the cost of $575 with a vehicle pass for $140. So two to $3,000 at a low estimate to get over there, and that's just to get in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, this
yeah.
one's good. Imagine paying 2,500 to die.
I'll pass.
I mean, that sounds like living in
then,
Canada.
then Hero says Black Rock Burning Man. Black Rock Burning Man. There's a company called Black Rock, and Burning Man is that Black Rock a location.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Oh, Black Rock, huh? Really gets that noggin jogging.
Yep.
Do
Anyway,
you really think those guys will start to eat each other?
I think
hope so.
What I'm reading is that all the mud there is heavily alkaline, and this is, I don't understand chemistry. Mega, you might be the most qualified person to comment on this. It's heavily alkaline, so it's going to cause burns, like chemical burning, but also it's causing like high bacteria count to happen. So there's tons of bacterial infections and maybe a viral infection happening there. So it would be interesting if this became a gateway. Like, oh, the Burning Man caused the new fucking COVID.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I guess I'm never going back to the United States ever.
Yeah, because Peru has been handling it so exemplarily.
Yeah. I mean, we have COVID cases and we haven't been told to mask up yet. Thank God. I mean, some people do walk around with masks, but hopefully as a preventative measure. But anyways, strike up the sad music. It's time for our In Memoriam, starting with Arlene Sorkin, original Harley Quinn voice actress, dies at 67.
She was great as Harley Quinn.
Yep.
She was the inspiration for Harley Quinn.
So, Arlene Sorkin, the original voice of Harley Quinn for Batman the Animated Series, best series of all time, and Days of Our Lives actor, died on Saturday. She was 67. The DC's James Gunn shared news of Sorkin's death in a post on Instagram, and here it is. He says, "Rest in peace, Arlene Sorkin, the incredibly talented original voice of Harley Quinn, who helped to create the character of so many of us love her, family, and friends." And she began her career in the entertainment industry by working in a comedy troupe and as a cabaret performer in the 70s and 80s. She landed her role as Calliope Jones in Days of Our Lives in 1984. And her performance in Days of Our Lives scored her 2 Emmy nominations for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series in 1988 and 89, and would hold a permanent role from 1984 to 1990, and then returned for guest appearances in 92, 2006, and 2010. She voiced Harley Quinn in the 1992 episode of Batman the Animated Series entitled Joker's Fervor, which was intended to be a one-episode character. And Sorkin would continue to voice the character across projects including Superman the Animated Series, the new Batman Adventures, Gotham Girl, Static Shock, Justice League Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, and the Batman Superman movie, The World's Finest. Aside from acting, Sorkin served as a writer and producer on How to Marry a Billionaire and Fired Up. And she also co-wrote Picture Perfect in 1997 and 2 episodes of Tiny Toon Adventures. Let's see. Mark Hamill, who famously voiced the Joker in the Batman animated series, offered his condolences on Twitter.
For once, he wasn't being completely retarded.
Yeah. Okay.
Arlene Sorkin is. You could argue that she's one of the greatest voice actresses ever. Who's that female voice actress from the golden days, from like the cartoon days?
Dr.
June
Strong?
Foray.
Which
Who?
one? The one who killed herself?
From like no, she's older. From like the Mel Blanc era, like maybe
When
near
is, when
post.
is June Foray? I know.
Mm-mm. Hang on, I'll look it up. You continue.
Yeah. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I'm checking this one because she said she is survived by her husband, Christopher Lloyd, and her two children, Eli and Owen.
Oh, he was married to Christopher Lloyd. I didn't know that.
What?
I don't
I
know
had
if
no
it is
idea.
the Christopher Lloyd, but let me check.
Well, yeah. I don't know if it's our Christopher Lloyd.
Personal life.
All right, we can't all be looking shit up at the same time.
I'm
Nope.
not. I'm just being a lazy asshole because I'm tired.
I want to say it's Sherry Lewis,
No,
but it's
I don't
not.
think it's the same one.
Also, this is a different Christopher Lloyd, not the Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
So
All you know him for being what's his name, Doc Brown in the Back to the Future movies, but here in Casa de Canales we know him as Fester Adams, our favorite character.
I also know him as the judge from
Judge Doom.
Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
Judge Doom.
He was also one of the inmates in One Flight Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah. So
my introduction to Christopher Lloyd was Jim in Taxi.
I know him. I've watched the Taxi reruns. In fact, in the Condorja's family household, it was a lot of reruns from the 1970s were watched, and it made an impression on the tiny condor, the condor chick, you can say.
I also remember a movie with Christopher Lloyd. I think it was for Disney, in which he and a couple of kids fooled their parents into believing they were going to different summer camps.
Oh, Camp Nowhere.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, believe it or not, there was a time in which Disney didn't make shitty movies.
Yeah, they were very fun. I was seeing that one in which the fat kids go to a summer camp and Ben Stiller is the coach of the camp. It's very damn funny.
Meatballs? I don't know, but
yeah, the heavyweight I think is.
Oh yeah, I know which one it is. Yeah, I remember it.
So let's pretend that I'm St. Peter and I'm saying, Bob Barker, come on up to heaven.
Yeah.
Bob Barker, longtime Price is Right host, dies at 99.
99.
So, yeah, I thought he died like a couple years earlier, but I guess no.
He was probably sick for a long time. He was pretty old. One of the very few people in Hollywood, in LA, Hollywood, whatever. Absolutely nothing wrong with the fucking guy. Absolutely zero wrong with him.
I mean, some of the Barker beauties tried to start shit when the whole Me Too thing happened, but
of course they
and how'd it work out for them?
Not at all.
Yeah, exactly.
As I say,
untouchable because he was a good guy and an animal lover.
I know, he always reminded us to spay and neuter our pets. That's why Luna hasn't popped out like 50 billion kittens like her whore mother. But Bob Barker, who hosted The Price is Right for 35 years, has died. His representative told CBS News, and he was 99. He died at home, and he had a beautiful life. He appeared on national television for over 50 years before his time as the country's longest-running game show on CBS He hosted one of the nation's first televised game shows, Truth or Consequences, for nearly 20 years, earning him recognition in the Guinness World Records book as television's most durable performer.
Wow.
Uh, so on Truth or Consequences, Barker's charmed audience with his quips and plain-spoken style. And then every December 21st, the show creator Ralph Edwards and Barker would drink a toast at lunch to celebrate the day in 1956 when Edwards notified Barker, who had no previous television experience, that he was going to become the host. He stayed with the program for 18 years, calling it a fun show.
How old was he when that happened?
Probably like in his 30s, maybe.
Well, what year was it?
1956. December 21st, 1956.
66? That's
56.
57. 56, 67. Holy shit. He was 22.
Damn.
Yep. Let's see. In 1972, Barker started hosting The Price is Right, which originally aired in the 50s and 60s, and stayed in that position for 35 years. And audience members were enthusiastic about their affable host, some participants asking for kisses, which Barker once obliged by smooching a fan square in the lips while dipping her backward. Another fan told Barker she dreamed he was chasing her in a hayloft. I mean, women.
It's so crazy. Like, you're not allowed to do that anymore. But, like, he was absolutely a romantic figure. And it's not like he was being weird and he wasn't being gross. He was just, like, being a romantic figure. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
No, that
a
was
romantic.
being like a
normal.
romantic gentleman.
We all
absolutely.
remember. I guess we all remember that old picture from the end of World War II when the sailor is kissing the nurse in
Yeah.
Times Square.
Oh yeah.
That used to be normal. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
So here's a question. What did Barker do for work before he got the show job?
I don't know. We're getting here. So
Okay.
it says, well, first, Barker was honored with 19 Emmy Awards, 14 as host of The Price is Right. And then in 2004, he was inducted to the Television Academy Hall of Fame. Robert Barker was born in Darrington, Washington on December 12th, 1923, to Matilda and Byron. He spent most of his childhood on the Rosebud Sioux Reservation in South Dakota and was a citizen of the tribe.
Oh,
So he's a red man.
Who knew? I had no idea.
In high school,
I thought TV was
Barker,
really racist back then, but turns out it wasn't.
let's see, in high school, at the age of 15, Barker met and fell in love with his future wife, Dorothy Jo Gideon. Their first date was on November 17th, 1939, when he took her to see an Ella Fitzgerald concert. They were never separated from then on until her death in 1981 from lung cancer. Then Barker attended Drury College in Springfield, and then in World War II he joined the Navy as a fighter pilot, and he graduated summa cum laude with a degree in economics. So they lived
From where?
Probably from this Drury College.
Oh, right, Drury College.
Yeah, so he dropped out to fight in the war, and then he came back and graduated, it sounds like. First, they lived in Florida, then they moved to Los Angeles, and then he became the host of his own radio program, The Bob Barker Show, before moving to television. So
there we go. Radio to TV transition.
You know, just the story of Bob is kind of similar to the story of Don Francisco.
Of who?
Don Francisco.
Of Sábado Gigante.
Yeah, that one.
And then
I know that Sábado means Saturday.
It means giant Saturday or big Saturday.
And I mean that Francisco is a guy that saved us from the commies in Spain a few decades ago.
No, this Don Francisco is he's actually a Jew born in Chile, and then
Yep.
Uh, and I think everyone remembers that his only film role was in Happy Gilmore, where he beats the living shit out of Adam Sandler.
That was the role that, well, not role since it was his only one, but that was like the job that made me say, all right, this Barker guy is fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm. I wish I could show the clip, but YouTube, you know,
Oh yeah,
maybe after.
in Rumble.
Let's see. Yep, he was in Happy Gilmore. Outside of his storied television career, Barker was a renowned animal activist who once testified before Congress in support of a federal ban against using elephants in travel shows and for rides, which didn't really
Yep.
work because I remember being at a circus riding on an elephant. And then at the zoo, I also rode on an elephant too.
So
Oh really?
I'm sorry, Bob.
Cool.
But
I actually have a
I'm
hard time going to zoos. I'm very morally conflicted about zoos. I'm really against animal cruelty, so I'm down.
well, the zoo. Well, was it? Yeah, not, last weekend I went to the zoo here, and it's pretty well kept. Even the animals are pretty well cared for, and they have like ample space.
I have a hard time squaring the circle of whether or not those animals would be better off in the wild. And I understand that sometimes the animals are rescues that wouldn't be able to survive in the wild, but not always.
Well,
It's a personal struggle for me.
I guess if like an animal has to be rescued and then it can be released back in the wild, I'm cool with it. But like just go hunting animals and forcing them to like perform for humans, I don't like that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's I don't go to circuses anymore, and I legit struggle with whether or not I want to go to a zoo. I haven't been to one in a long time.
But they still have animals in circus back in the US
Oh yeah,
some
they still do
places, yeah.
tigers and lions.
because here in Mexico, actually, there's a law that prohibits circus from using animals.
Oh shit, really?
Really? At all?
That's the reason why many people I know don't no longer go to the circus because there are no animals.
That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious that Mexico beat the US to the punch in banning like in like humane laws. It's not something that I would assume would happen.
Yeah, crazy world.
Yes, it is.
All right. Let me quick finish up this on Bob Barker. So,
Give it.
maybe you remember this, Midnight, but Barker made headlines for his passionate support of animals during the 1987 Miss USA pageant when he refused to host if contestants wore real furs during the televised event.
I
Producers
kind of do
acquiesced and
remember it.
contestants wore synthetic furs that year, but the following year, Barker resigned when producers refused to stop giving fur coats as prizes.
I
And
kind of
then
remember
there's
that.
Yeah, I'm not reading the quote from this fizz bitch Ingrid Newkirk, the head of PETA, because fuck her.
Yeah, I'm not
She
into
kills
PETA.
dogs and
I'm
puts
not
them
into
to
PETA.
death.
Yeah.
No one should be. They're basically feminism for animals.
Yeah.
Or
Barker
even
gave large
BLM.
endowments ranging from $500,000 to $1 million to the law schools of numerous universities, including Harvard, Duke, Columbia, University of Virginia, Northwestern, and UCLA, for the study and support of animal rights law. And then for his final Price is Right show that aired on June 15th, 2007, Barker ended his run with his familiar plea: help control the pet population, have your pet spayed or neuter.
Reasonable. I hope that he like I hope that nothing like Jimmy Savile style ever comes out about him, man. I hope that I get to keep my image of Bob Barker. He was a solid dude, as far as I know. Good person for people to look up to, honestly.
Just
I
like
hope-
Mr. Rogers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wholesome guy.
Hmm.
Okay. Next dead person. WWE wrestler Bray Wyatt died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
His real name was Wyndham Rotunda.
Why would you change your
Whoa.
name when your real name is Wyndham Rotunda?
Because it sounds a
So-
little like a little English mansion of feet.
Ah,
Yeah. Let's see. So, Bray Wyatt died of a heart attack, apparently. So, the 36-year-old professional wrestler died in his sleep last Thursday, and that he had seen a doctor earlier in the day for ongoing heart condition. So the WWE.
I'm certain that. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was saying that the chief content officer, Paul Triple H Levesque, announced Wyatt's death later that day on social media. He's survived by his fiancée, known as JoJo, during her time in WWE. And they share 2 children together, while Wyatt had 2 other children with his previous marriage to Samantha Rotunda. And he was supposed to wear, well, TMZ reported that he died in his sleep and that he was not wearing a doctor recommended heart defibrillator at the time of his death. And the device was reportedly found in Wyatt's car parked outside his home, according to the outlet.
I know a handful of people that are into wrestling, and all of them really like Bray Wyatt. Like, they might not think that he's the greatest, but they really like him a lot. And I do know a couple of people that think he's the greatest, at least in a while, like since The Undertaker. And ever since I only learned about him like 2 years ago, maybe. And they were saying like, oh, this guy Bray Wyatt, he hasn't been around for a long time. He's just kind of been out in cold storage or something.
Yes,
and then he started to come back. He did a match or two like a couple of months ago, like within the last year. He did a couple of matches. Like, oh, he was going to make his comeback, and they had a big event or something, like a reveal event or something for his comeback. Or I don't understand wrestling entirely, so I don't keep up on it. And this one guy that I know that's really into Bray Wyatt, was like really psyched that he was making a comeback. But then he disappeared until now, for like months after that comeback situation. And this guy was like, I don't understand what's going on with Bray Wyatt. Like, why isn't he out doing stuff? I think that he's been sick for a while. And you know what I think is going on here.
I think we all do. Definitely climate change.
Yeah, absolutely. It's climate change.
Oh, that climate change, man. We should start eating bugs and drinking poop water. But the 3rd generation pro wrestler first joined the WWE in early 2009, following in the footsteps of his grandfather was Blackjack Mulligan and his father Mike Rotunda. Wyatt's uncle's also wrestler, and his brother Taylor wrestled as Bo Dallas. And first he was a character called Husky Harris, and then he went on the main roster before returning to its developmental system in 2011. It is at this point he came up with the character Bray Wyatt, an enigmatic cult leader who often spoke in riddles. The Wyatt character became beloved by WWE fans, and Rotunda went on to win 3 WWE World Championships and 2 tag team titles. And then here's how he would look.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they were trying to do like a Undertaker.
He's kind of portly, right? Do you guys know what his shtick is?
No, not really. I thought it says right here that he was supposed to be like a cult leader who spoke in riddles.
Yeah, his shtick is interesting. It's like a reverse cult. It's like a cult that protects people from trauma instead of causing it. And we can get into the philosophy of that. And there's all these like puppets that are part of their figures in his cult. There's like a witch. I think there's a clown. I think there's a dog. So yeah, he was trying to take the place of the Undertaker, well, sort of. what's interesting is he was portly. He's not tall and beefy. He's like portly. What I wonder is, was he doing steroids? Was he on PEDs?
I don't think so because
It doesn't look like
yeah,
in
I
this
don't think
picture.
you would want to do steroids to achieve that body type. Like that's perfectly achievable. Like you're just like a say it's like a chubby guy, so just like lift some weights and
Yeah.
you can acquire those arms and those legs like fairly easily.
But it will give you more density, right?
Yeah, I guess so. But if you wanna compete in like bodybuilding, you can like give the weight and all that. But I don't know. I don't know how
Yeah.
it works in wrestling. So maybe, but he just doesn't look the part. Like The Rock looks like a dude who do steroids, like Hulk Hogan, all those guys maybe. But this guy,
Yeah.
looks a bit too normal for me. I don't know.
Yeah, like compare his arm to that of John Cena's. John Cena's is
Yeah.
like fairly defined, and his is just like fat over muscle.
Yeah, he basically has my body type,
Yeah.
and I don't do steroids as far as I know.
Let's see. Let's see. In recent years, as professional wrestlers appeared more willing to peel back the curtain on the semi-scripted business and break the fourth wall, Wyatt intentionally conducted very few interviews and remained as veiled as possible in the era of the internet. And then he was briefly released in 2021 and then came back in 2022. And yeah. Oh, I forgot. There was also what's his name? Terry Funk died too.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to mention.
Are we gonna talk about
Who's
the Smash
Terry
Mouth
Funk?
guy?
What?
Go ahead. Midnight was asking first.
No, I'm asking who Terry Funk is. I don't know who that is.
Terry Funk is like one of the greatest old school wrestlers. Like, who did he wrestle? I think he was with superstar Billy Graham. And those guys.
No, I have no idea.
Hold on.
That's okay. You don't have to fill me in on it. I just have no idea who he is.
No, but
how many more entries do you have on the dead list?
we got 3 more. Gonna run through quick.
All right, probably shouldn't read the whole article on all 3.
I was asking, did you guys hear about the Smash Mouth guy, Steve Harwell?
No.
Is that the singer?
Yeah, he's on his deathbed apparently.
What now?
Yeah, he's on his deathbed. I only read the headline like 5 minutes ago. Well, not 5 minutes ago, like before the show. Was browsing through Instagram, so yeah, may have to add another notch to the belt to 2023.
Well, another big one. Jimmy Buffett.
Oh yeah.
Singer songwriter. Margaritaville. He dead. Yep. Known as the inventor of beach rock. He died on Friday. He was 76. He had he had Merkel cell skin cancer for 4 years. And then he continued to perform during treatment, playing his last show, a surprise appearance in Rhode Island in early July. He collected just one top pop hit, Margaritaville, and then he also wrote a song that I think Canals would love. It's called "Cheeseburger in Paradise."
Absolutely. I mean, I haven't heard it, but it really sounds like my kind of thing.
Maybe after the show.
All right.
Okay, so a marimbalist tequila pan to kicking back on the beach in the aftermath of a breakup, which rose to number 8 on the national charts. But Buffett's boozy, punny, often marijuana-scented variety of tropical good time music struck an abiding chord with an army of enthusiastic fans who dubbed themselves Parrots Heads. Let's see. Are they going to say anything about his past life? Because that was crazy. Let's see. No?
What do you mean his past life?
Because like before he hit it big, he would like go around the Caribbean like selling pot and that.
So he was a smuggler.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's crazy, dude. A lot of people were pot smugglers and coke smugglers back in the day.
Yeah.
Probably heroin as well.
Yeah, let's see.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, James William Buffett was born in Pascagoula, Mississippi, and grew up in Mobile, Alabama. He played trombone. His grandfather was a sailing enthusiast, and he took up the sport, which would play a thematic role in his music as a youth. He took up guitar. He began playing professionally in Nashville and cut his folk-inflected debut Down on Earth in 1970. And he toured with this country folk singer-songwriter Jerry Jeff Walker and went to Key West. He relocated to the Keys where he developed his easygoing beachside persona, and he was running that devil's lettuce across the Caribbean. A real pirate of the Caribbean, we can say. Let's see. His early sets, a white sport coat and a pink crustacean, which spawned his early song "Why Don't We Get Drunk" and then "Havana Daydreaming." And then his breakthrough album was "Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes." Blah blah blah. I think he also crashed his plane off the coast of Martha's Vineyard once, but swam to shore.
Oh, I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that happening.
And then I think I also remember a story where I think his plane was shot at because they thought he was like a cocaine dealer.
And he's like, no, that was 20 years ago. I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, so crazy man.
One thing. Have you ever heard the story about? Have you ever heard the story about how Don Henley and Glenn Fry were feds?
Really?
Yeah, there's rumors that Don Henley and or Glenn Fry and or maybe the entire fucking band of the Eagles were federal informants. I wonder if Buffett was a fed.
So that's
Which
why
is
Jeffrey
weird
Lebowski
because
didn't like the Eagles.
the Eagles started out as the backing band for Linda Ronstadt before they went off and became the Eagles. What?
So that's the real reason why Jeff Lebowski doesn't like the Eagles.
That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Evie says, I worked with him once when I was a kid. He toured in Tennessee from Margaritaville. He was pretty cool. Liked to party. Seems about right.
Damn, I would love to hang out with Jimmy Buffett.
I am more of a Warren Zevon man.
Oh, yeah, Warren Zevon.
You are a man of culture.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
My favorite song is "Rollin' the Headless Thompson Gunner."
Nice.
What, you never heard "Rollin' the Headless Thompson Gunner" by Warren Zevon?
I said nice.
Sorry, I think my headphones are starting to shit out on me because I've been having they're losing sound on one side. I've been noticing during my classes. It started.
That's probably a fraying cable. That happens a lot with cabled headphones if they're earbuds, right?
Yeah,
that's gonna.
And they usually
happen
wrap
a lot.
them up so they don't get tangled.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Like, I understand why you do it, but that will do that. And inside the connectors start coming loose, and the cheaper the headphones, the more likely that is to happen.
So I just found about this today, even though he died earlier this month. William Friedkin is dead. He directed such movies as The Exorcist, The French Connection, and my all-time favorite Al Pacino movie, Cruisin'.
Because it's a super
I've
gay
never
movie.
seen that. I know that the Germs did the soundtrack.
It's very damn funny.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would call it a lot of things, but funny. Okay. You do you.
Hey, the scene when the black dude enters into the room and just slaps the guy like a bitch is pretty damn funny.
Al Pacino in the face.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yep. So He died. He was 87. Uh, his final film, The Kane Mutiny, Court Martial, starring Kiefer Sutherland, is set to premiere at the Venice Film Festival, along with Peter Bogdanovich, Francis Ford Coppola, Hal Ashby. Friedkin rose to A-list status in the 1970s, part of a new generation of vibrant, risk-taking filmmakers. Combining his experience in television, particularly in documentary film, with a cutting-edge style of editing, Friedkin brought in a great deal of energy to the horror and police thriller genres which he specialized. The French Connection, it's one of my favorite movies too, was
Hmm.
incredibly fast-paced and morally ambiguous tale shot in documentary style and containing one of cinema's most justifiably famous car chase sequence. And it also won several Oscars, including Best Pictures, Director, and Actor for Gene Hackman, and became a touchstone for the police genre films and television for years to come. And then, let's see, after The French Connection came The Exorcist, and then we all know about that. Friedkin started in the mailroom of the Chicago TV station WGN, where he quickly rose to directing television shows and documentaries. He said he directed about 2,000 TV shows during those early years, including 1962 documentary The People versus Paul Crump about the rehabilitation of a man on death row. And it won him a Golden Gate Award. And he also got a job in the documentary division at WBKB television station. Then he also he directed an episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Huh.
And then, yep,
Which one?
it doesn't say.
I'll have to hunt that down and watch it, see if it's any good.
Yeah.
You know, Friedkin's work is so iconic that when Canales and I were hanging out, remember Canales? Remember what I said to you when we walked by a certain house?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And
I was like,
the
oh yeah,
audience.
this is like an exorcist house.
Yeah,
Like
so
it
this
looks
is like
exactly like
this is like that sort of house that you see in, like, I think you said Georgetown.
yeah. Well, you said Georgetown because you remembered that, but
Uh,
I did point it out.
yeah, this motherfucker. I mean, hasn't The Exorcist been one of the most homaged / parodied movies ever?
Yeah.
And I gotta add to this guy who maybe fall out of fame in the last few decades, because I don't think his movies were as big these last few years. Did some really underrated classics like Ronin or The Hunted. You guys seen The Hunted?
No.
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 Nobody has seen The Hunted, but it's like almost like an unofficial remake of Rambo. But what if Rambo was an actual bad guy and a psychopath and had to be stopped? So it's the story of Benicio del Toro. Is a black ops operative who's been deployed in the Balkan Wars, and he's come back
I
home.
vaguely remember this.
Yeah, I remember the Fox network promoted it a lot when I was like in my early 20s. They were trying like to make it like the next big thing, and I think it bombed at box office, but I don't know. It's like Tommy Lee Jones has to hunt Benicio del Toro through the forests of Oregon.
Yeah, I think I may have actually seen it. But like on TV.
Well, that movie has the best knife fighting scenes that I have ever seen, and it's no coincidence because he hired Filipino knife fighting and also professional comic book writer Rafael Cayanan to choreograph the scenes, and the fighting scenes are fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I remember the knife fighting.
Okay. So other movies. He directed 1977 Sorcerer, a challenging
Mhm.
remake of The Wages of Fear by this French guy. And then came The Brink's Job, my favorite movie, Cruising, and the 1983 comedy Deal of the Century. In 1985, he demonstrated his ability as an interesting stylistic director with, oh, he did the To Live and Die in L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recall that one.
Yeah. Then he also did the television series such as Tales from the Crypt, The Twilight Zone, Space Quest, and CAT Squad. And then he directed the moderately successful military drama Rules of Engagement.
Oh, they're
Oh,
not mentioning. They're not mentioning the tutor. I think it was the tutor or the guardian, La Tutora in
yeah.
Spain.
Oh,
Uh,
yep. Uh they mentioned your. It was
yeah,
in
The Hunted. There you go.
2003, The Hunted, starring Tommy Lee Jones and Benicio del Toro, and the 2007 horror movie Bug,
Hmm.
starring Ashley Judd and Harry Connick Jr.
Yeah, that's one of those movies that I always plan on seeing and always keep like postponing and always end up not watching.
And
Mhm.
then in 2011, he finished Killer Joe, which
Oh,
stars
that's
Matthew
great.
McConaughey and Emil Hirsch. The controversial crime pick had a limited release in the US in 2012.
That was a great movie too. Killer
And then
Joe.
he also directed 2 episodes of CSI.
And yes, you are right.
Who
If
else
The
is on
Hunted
the
has Tommy Lee Jones in it, good
Who
casting.
else
Yeah.
is on the list for today? This
Last
week.
one. Last dead guy. This one's going to
Drum roll.
no. Oh, Mewsh interference. Mewsh interference. Okay, Mewsh interference has been averted. Last dead guy of the night. Finally, I know so many fucking people died. That's something. But yeah, Joe the plumber fucking dead.
Oh yeah, I also remember this.
Yeah,
49, very young. What did he die of?
pancreatic cancer, and guess where he died?
Oh shit.
Arizona.
Ha ha ha! No, my stomping grounds,
What is wrong with
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin?
But yep, Joe Wurzelbacher, who rose to fame as Joe the Plumber after challenging then presidential candidate Barack Obama on his tax plan in 2008, died on Sunday at the age of 49. He was battling stage 3 pancreatic cancer, according to a Give Send Go page. It was noted that he was a military veteran recently undergoing treatment at the Ann Arbor VA Hospital and the University of Michigan Hospital. Yeah, he didn't have a fighting chance if he was going to a VA hospital. But here's Joe with John McCain, RAP.
Terrible choice, Joe. Terrible choice.
Yeah. So his wife, Katie, said that the doctors ran tests and performed scans which showed a mass in the head of his pancreas, and noting that he lost 70 pounds. Last month, he was talking to CBN about the Christian Broadcasting Network about his diagnosis. And then blah blah. They have four. He is survived by 4 children between the ages of 5 and 25. So that's
I
that.
do sincerely believe that John McCain told the Viet Cong everything, and that he's been a Manchurian. Although I think that there are a lot of Manchurians going on.
But as maybe there's the young ones, but we're old boomers here. Maybe we remember that the former plumber cemented himself in the political limelight at Obama's 2008 campaign stop near his hometown. He apparently said, "I'm getting ready to buy a company that makes 250,000 to 280,000 a year. Your new tax plan is going to tax me more, isn't it?" He asked Obama. Uh, Obunga acknowledged that Wurzelbacher would face higher taxes but wanted to offer small business a tax break to spread the wealth around, per the outlet. And then John McCain then brought Wurzelbacher along on his campaign stops with his running mate, former governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin.
She's a
Then,
smash.
yeah.
I
Oh.
always liked her, even when I was pro-Democrat.
Mm-hmm. They did her dirty with making fun of her with "I can see Russia from my house."
I can see Russia from my home.
They did her dirty on that. They did her as dirty as Howard Dean got done at the DNC. That was bullshit. Because the point that she was making is that she lives in fucking Alaska, which is a very short, like, stone's throw from Russia. Like,
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of young American people who don't know what the fuck Alaska is.
Mm-hmm.
And that people, like, like in Stranger Things, there used to be like a smuggler who flew his plane from Russia to Alaska because that's a thing you can do because it's relatively close.
Yeah, it's like a fucking a hop, skip, and a jump over the Bering Strait. That is the direction that human beings, as far as we claim, got to the Americas from the other side of the world.
From Eurasia.
However you want to describe Eurasia. Yeah. Like, so it annoyed the shit out of me when people were, and I wasn't even, dude, I was pretty liberal at that point. I'm like, this is bullshit, you guys. And I remember them being such fucking cocksuckers about it too.
I mean, I was still pretty young at the time, and even I thought that was kind of stupid.
Yeah, it was fucking retarded.
But then again, I was also sucked into the Obama hype train.
Well, I mean, I voted for him, so I can't.
Have you seen that episode of the Boondocks about Obama?
The what? The Bandits?
Boondocks?
Yeah, Boondocks.
The Black Family. No.
In which everybody, well, almost everybody's deriding Obama.
Ah.
And this guy Magnificent composed a song. Deriding.
I just remember the episode with Martin Luther King coming back from the dead.
Have you guys heard this Tucker Carlson talking about Obama smoking crack?
Nope.
Oh.
So recently a letter got leaked from one of Obama's exes, who's probably going to end up not killing herself soon.
Okay.
Just like the chef.
Just like the chef, probably for similar reasons. Claiming, like, the letter, Obama writes that he fantasizes about banging dudes, which is like, whatever, but tie this into the fact that we've been talking about, and I'm not 100% on this by any means, but I'm like 30% on it, but I might be more now. I might be 60 now. Saying that Michelle's a dude, right? Well, it's a lot more believable when you find out that Barry fantasized about banging dudes. And now Tucker Carlson is saying that he believes that during the campaign 2008, Obama was smoking crack and banging dudes. But he doesn't strike me as a crack type. That's the thing. He doesn't strike me as a crack type.
He's more of a cocaine connoisseur.
Yeah, he looks like a cocaine guy.
He's more of a, like,
for the lowlifes in the ghetto. He is a man of refined taste. He takes the finest, purest cocaine from Colombia.
Obama's he's a, like, carefully individually manufactured speedball from Big Pharma. Like, whatever shit he's got, it's got to be the best you can possibly get. So I don't see him as a crack guy, but Tucker Carlson is insisting that it's true that Obama was smoking crack and banging dudes.
I just have a fun idea.
I've heard Obama lie more often than I heard Tucker Carlson lie.
Well, that's true.
I'm sorry, Omega, you were saying?
I have a fun idea. Obama asked the chef to get him a sausage. So I think I found it. It's in your wife.
Oh shit, and Mega's on the list. Why did you win $19, Hero?
Yeah. Did you run it on a scratch ticket?
Scratch offs. Anyway, here's our last story for today. Gotta scroll up. Elon Musk blames elite LA school for brainwashing communist trans daughter. No, actually, it's his son into hating him for being rich.
Yeah. Okay. No, I totally
Mm-hmm.
believe that.
What
So,
school?
uh, let's see. Elon Musk washed his hands of any responsibility for the recent rift between himself and 19-year-old Vivian Jenna Wilson, instead blaming the Crossroads School for Arts and Sciences in Santa Monica for infecting her with the woke mind virus, or him with the woke mind virus. Uh, Wilson's transition was part of a domino effect that led to Musk buying the social media app as a part of its mission to stomp out wokeness, according to the excerpt of the upcoming biography Elon Musk that was published in the Wall Street Journal Thursday. The SpaceX founder told author Walter Isaacson that he was initially generally sanguine with his child's decision until April 2022, when Wilson became a fervent Marxist and broke off all relations with him, the excerpt reveals. That year, Wilson was granted a petition to change his gender as well as his name, which he hoped would demolish any connection between himself and his biological father. He went
Yep.
beyond socialism to being a full communist and thinking anyone rich is evil, said Musk, whose net worth is estimated at 257.5 billion.
Wanna ask how much
Whatever.
money Joseph Stalin had? It's insane.
I mean, what is it? Is it Vivian? Is it Jenna? What is this that?
Vivian. Vivian Jenna
Oh,
Wilson.
okay. So what is Vivian Jenna's monthly budget? Okay, and how much of that comes from actually working? Okay, those are
Well,
my first two questions. And is Vivian Jenna making a living off of, for example, working construction? I know I go to this a lot, but it's a good one to go to because I've done it. Until that's happening, fuck off.
well, I'm looking down. I'm hopefully it will come out down more down in the article, but my thoughts is with all like the hormones and stuff, uh, in places that's already covered by insurance, and if and since he's 19,
Of course.
and you can be under your parents' insurance until you're like 26. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's getting most of his uh hormones and getting his dick cut off for next to nothing.
Who's paying for that insurance, dude? Do you like insurance is expensive? It's like 400
Probably
bucks a month for cheap
probably
insurance
daddy's probably Elon's alimony to his ex-wife.
or
Or
something like that, right?
yeah.
So I don't see Jivian pooling
Vivian.
Jim's money
Yeah.
with everybody else. So all this I'm a devout Marxist nonsense is absolute fucking dog shit. And it sucks because these private schools, he Elon's right, it is the private schools. If you go into any of these elite private schools, right? These signs are everywhere. They're everywhere. The rainbows, the this is a safe space, all this shit. It's all over the place in these private schools because they infantilize the students. Why? How much are the students paying a year? 40 grand, 50 grand, 60 grand more. So they have to keep the students from complaining. Not only that, but the students come from all around the world. So when students go to one of these private schools from a foreign country, they don't want to hear American nationalism in these expensive schools.
Mhm.
So
And I'm
it does start in it
yeah.
does start in these private K through 12 schools.
And I was gonna say if you're a kid from like China or India, Pakistan, where LGBT, WTF barbecue stuff doesn't fly, how do you think they're supposed to? What are they supposed to do?
Um, they, you're talking about at the private schools.
Yeah.
They will go along with it or be shamed because they are desperate. Like especially Indians, they're desperate to be liked by the West. They're desperate to be cool. Indians, dude, like Indian dudes are not cool. um, Indian chicks can be attractive, so they want essentially they want the black people to like them, but they want to be rich like the white people. So they're gonna go along to get along. I mean, look at how
Oh,
the
Cal Penn.
average. Yeah, exactly. Like I think Cal Penn was like traumatized into homosexuality. I don't think that he's actually gay.
Cal Penn is gay? No, he's not gay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Cal
he
Penn
is.
gay.
Holy shit.
Isn't that weird? It doesn't seem organic, does it?
No.
Didn't he have like a
Yeah.
daughter or something?
No.
Maybe.
No, I think he had kids.
No, I don't think he did.
What do you think about this guy from the Big Bang Theory? The guy who made Rajesh Kutrapali.
Which guy?
The guy from the
The Big Bang Theory.
I never watched the Big Bang
The
Theory.
the Big Bang Theory?
Yeah,
Wait, which guy from the Big Bang Theory?
the Indian guy.
What
Oh,
about
right.
him?
The actor. Do you think he might be on the same tune as Cal Penn?
I don't know who that is. Hang on, I'll have to look it up because I've never watched an episode of the Big Bang Theory.
And I never will.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Let me see.
he doesn't have yeah, he doesn't have kids yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't know anything about this Indian guy from the Big Bang Theory, but like Indian dudes are pretty. They're pretty. What's the word that I'd use?
Malleable.
Beta and malleable. That's why they make such great CEOs for the globalists, because they'll do whatever the power structure wants. So when they're at these private schools, which is where this topic started, when they're at these private schools, they'll just go along to get along. And holy Jesus, these private school teachers are cancer.
Oh. But yeah, here's some people who have been to the Crossroads schools, like Jack Black, Maya Rudolph, and Zoe Deschanel.
All right.
That's interesting. It's interesting that Jack Black comes from that kind of rich. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I should have assumed it, but I didn't
Jack
realize.
Black is of the Nose tribe.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the
Never Be Poe tribe.
Yeah. Let's see. Tuition. Yeah, it says tuition for the alleged communist school costs up to $50,000 per student annually.
That's ironic.
This is what this poor kid has to do to not be hated for being a wealthy white kid.
Yeah.
He has to hate himself. He has to hate everything about himself.
Mm-hmm. And this is the place. Also, I have to say, if you want to ascribe to communist thought, I believe you have to spend at least 1 year in either Cuba, Venezuela, Angola. I think is still communist.
Well, if you're
or
a
North
rich
Korea.
If you're a rich Westerner, they'll arrange that. They'll charge you a fuckload for it, and you'll get a Potemkin village experience of what it's like. So even that won't do it. What really happens is you have to fucking work construction.
Globalists. Right, the
globalists.
Wink,
exactly.
Wink. Well, hello, Banaka. Thanks for joining. All right, so I guess that's it for this week.
What else is going on?
What about the new trans rule in Germany.
I did not hear about
Tell,
this.
I
Enlighten.
posted on the
tell me
Discord
more.
Oh, right.
that in Germany apparently there's gonna be a division for trans swimmers. So no more trans women in women's sports in Germany for swimming.
Interesting. You, I would think Germany would force the meme. So
Oh.
it's going to be fascinating to see how that plays out, considering Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Maybe the Muslims, the Turks and the other Muslims have finally infiltrated and saying, no, haram. The freaks get their own section, division.
Well, I think Germany's conservatives are standing up a bit more. There's at least that.
Yeah. Oh, I just remembered something. I saw something on Reddit where there's like another glow Nazi group.
Oh yeah, I saw that. The
Yeah.
feds in the fucking red shirts and khakis. Fed.
Yep. Yeah,
Feds.
I even commented. Yeah, I even commented something along the lines of, wow, this picture glows so much I need to put on my sunglasses.
Yeah. Uncle Terry was right.
God bless Terry.
All right, you want to wrap it up for tonight?
Yeah. So, let's start with you, Midnight. What you got planned for the week?
I don't know. It's a light dip in how fucking busy I am. So maybe I'll do something creative. I got tomorrow off. It's Labor Day. It's not bad.
Yeah. Oh, and remember, after Labor Day, don't wear white.
That fucking rule is stupid. Dude, I went out with a chick who, I don't know what, I wore white pants or some shit like that, and it was after Labor Day. I don't know. And she made a comment about it. I'm like, what are these fucking rules? This is a stupid rule. Don't wear white after Labor. The fuck does that even mean? Why am I not wearing white after Labor Day? I can't see any functional reason for this stupid fucking rule other than so that people can say, oh, don't wear white after Labor Day. I'll wear whatever fucking color I want whenever the fuck I want to wear it. How's that?
I don't even know how that rule got started. All
I don't
know
either.
is that you already hear it. You always hear it. We're like, don't wear white after Labor Day. Like what?
See,
Well,
this
luckily-
is how societies crumble. These rules happen, and nobody says why. And whenever people fucking ask why, the people that just repeat it ad nauseum don't want to ask that question themselves because they might find out they've been fucking retards all this time.
I mean, it's easier to censor the opposition than to admit you are a fucking retard. We've been seeing that for a long time now.
I just remember being like, wait, is this a thing? Is this going to be a thing that like somehow I'm knocked out? Like, not that I was like super crazy, like, oh, I'm going to chase this chick to the ends of the earth or something. But like, is this a thing? Is this going to hurt the dating thing that we're doing because I fucking wore white after Labor Day? Is that going to happen? I don't even know what the fuck that means.
I don't even know either. But
I don't even
continuing. Fat greasy hog man, what are you going to do this week? This coming week?
Nothing. I'm gonna be doing nothing because I finished all my commissions. I'm not gonna start working at the gym until next Monday, which it's 9/11. So this coming week I'm gonna be on vacation because you may think, oh, but Canales, weren't you just on vacation in the US? No, I was not. I was working as a Sherpa / bodyguard / translator for my parents. Returning the favor for having spawned me. So no, it hasn't been fucking. Luckily I got to hang out with some CG friends in person. Did you say at some point that you may have met me somewhere midnight, or am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
we yeah.
Because as I said, I only slept like 4 hours today because that's what happens when you have to like fly across the fucking ocean nighttime.
We resumed our tradition of yearly binge drinking together.
Yes, it was fucking great, dude. And I also met Tiff some teeth in New York City twice.
Leave it to a fucking Dago to take a vacation to get over his vacation. Jesus Christ.
Oh man, if you had been there, you would have known what I mean.
Oh man, I'm certain. I'm certain. Babysitting one's parents becomes just as much a job as it was for them.
That's what I mean. I'm returning the favor. Like I was actually the one making all the rational decisions. Oh, let's go eat somewhere. Let's go. I'm sure Times Square is full of really cool restaurants. I'm like, have you seen the fucking prices? Let's just go like a couple blocks more to the west. Hell's Kitchen. It's like smaller. It's like more working class. We may be able to get like a decent cheeseburger there, without having to like pawn a fucking kidney. And
What about you, Bean Boy? What do you have planned this week?
This week, normal work. Fortunately, all the bastards returned back from vacation, so things are chill now. I have a $300 commission that I have to start to do.
Damn.
Yeah, I got paid.
Damn. That's a lot of pesos.
Yeah, yeah, it's a shit ton of money.
Can you say what the commission is of?
The commission is, let me guess. No, it's not that one. Oh yeah, it's a stupid bullshit of Naruto.
Oh, okay.
Weeb shit.
I'm amazed that like I still struggle with accepting the idea that like a Naruto commission can pull in $300. That's amazing.
Yeah, but that's what people want.
I mean
that's why manga
there
sells.
are some pretty rich weebs out there, or maybe they're just using their deep bucks on it.
I mean, people want to see their fan fictions become true. I say, okay, if you have the money, I'll do it.
If you have the money, I have the pencil. The lápiz, pendejo.
Yeah.
I know. Was you trying to sound like a gay Mexican? Because you sounded kind of broke. It was super weird.
Maybe.
You sounded more like a Colombian rent boy.
No comment.
That could be a new catchphrase. Like, hey, are you a Colombian rent boy, or are you just having a stroke?
Yeah. All right. That's the end of our show. Thank you, Hero, Eve, and Bianca Fights the Zombies for joining us. Enjoy your gigantic penises.
Yes.
Oh shit!
For watching our show. Yeah.
So
It's terrifying.
I can imagine Eve with a penis. Okay, I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, I can.
Oh well.
I mean, you wrote that.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should change it that females who watch Awful Goodness, their titties get bigger. They get big titties.
I can imagine that.
All right, big titties.
Okay. If you are a male, you have a large penis, and if you're female, your titties just grew like 2 cup sizes.
I don't know. She just makes this shit up.
Sound? Is that good? We good?
Sounds great.
Yeah, sounds better.
All right, everybody, say your goodbyes.
Everyone have a nice night.
Adios.